So today we'll discuss a practical on epicyclic gear train. Aim of the practical is speed and torque analysis of epicyclic gear train to determine holding torque. This is our setup. It consists of different parts like a display. Other parts I will show you in next view. So this display is there to show you or to obtain readings like RPM, voltage, current, and there is input and output switch. This is side view of the setup. I already told you this is display. Here it consists of a motor. These parts I will show you in more detail in one more view. This is front view of our setup, and in this front view it is clear we are using two pulleys. Let's say this will be a pulley mounted on ring gear shaft or output shaft. This is carrier pulley which is connected to two arms which are on which planets are rotating. So this is planet carrier pulley and this is output gear pulley. And on this pulley is rope brake dynameters. You can see this spring balances. These rope brake dynameters are used to determine torque acting on each pulley. So this is front view. In side view, now I will show you each part in detail. So the power is transmitted or power is given by motor through motor to sun gear. You can see this is our epicyclic gear train. So here it is. This will be a epicyclic gear train. Inside this there is epicyclic gear train. At the center there is sun gear, and around the sun gear two planets are there, and these planets are in mesh with this ring gear. So you can see this sun gear shaft. So this sun gear shaft is connected to motor through coupling and bearings. This is coupling and this is a bearing to support the shaft, while coupling is used to connect the motor shaft with a sun gear shaft. Now you can see here from this planet carrier or from this epicyclic gear train, three shafts are coming out. So here it is one shaft. You can see this will be a one shaft. Another shaft is here and one more is here. So the central shaft is sun gear shaft. Well, these two are, I'm saying these two are, this one and these two are the arms on which planets are rotating. And these two arms are connected to this pulley. In this pulley, you can see in the side view, in the front view, this pulley is connected to two arms which are shown here. So if these arms are rotating, these pins are rotating, which is rotated by sun gear, if they rotates, this pulley also rotate. And if this pulley is held stationary, means these arms are stationary, then power is transmitted from sun gear to planet and planet to ring gear. So this is our ring gear. So this black color outside portion is a ring gear portion. So this is our ring gear, and you can see this ring gear is connected to output shaft with the help of this arrangement. So ring gear is connected to output shaft, and on output shaft there is a output pulley. So this is the input from motor. This is output connected to ring gear, and this is planet carrier connected to arm. Now if we can fix any one of this element, that is either ring gear or arm. So if I fix this planet carrier by fixing this pulley, so to apply load on these two pulleys, arrangement of rope brake dynameters is used. You can see the spring balances. So we can apply load on this pulley as well as this pulley by using this. With this lever, we can arrange load, we can apply load on these pulleys. That is either on planet carrier pulley or output pulley. So this is all a setup. Now what this epicyclic gear train consists of in detail, you can see at the center there is sun gear, and around there are two planet gears, where these two planets are meshing with ring gear. This is also a schematic diagram I drawn. Motor current transmitting power to sun gear through input shaft, in between coupling and bearing is there. Bearing is used for supporting the shaft, while coupling is used to connect the motor shaft with a sun gear shaft. Sun gear mesh with planets. There are two planets, and these planets are rotating over a pin, and these two pins or arms are connected to a planet carrier pulley, while this internal gear is connected to output shaft. A bearing is there to support the shaft, and over that output shaft, output pulley is there. While spring balance arrangement, the rope brake dynamometer arrangement is there to calculate the torques. This is our overall setup. Now, what theory is required to analyze the speed and torque? We must know in epicyclic gear train there are three types of torques basically: input torque, output torque, and a holding torque. We can say the element which is held stationary, the torque acting on that element is called as a holding torque. So there will be input torque, output torque, and holding torque in a epicyclic gear train. And if you assume that this all elements are rotating with constant angular velocity means there is no angular acceleration like this, then we can write net torque acting on this gear train must be 0. So if these elements are rotating with constant angular velocity, then net torque will be 0. I'm saying external torque will be 0. Hence our equation is T1 plus T2 plus T3 is equal to 0. This is one of the important equation for torque analysis. Another assumption is that we are going to neglect the friction. So if we neglect the friction, the net kinetic energy dissipated by the gear train must be 0. Hence one more equation we are having, that is T1 omega 1 plus T2 omega 2 plus T3 omega 3 is equal to 0. But as this third is fixed element, means omega 3 is 0, and hence our final equation is T1 omega 1 plus T2 omega 2 is equal to 0. That is input power plus output power is equal to 0. We can also write input power is equal to output power. So with therefore this equation number 1 and 4, we can analyze epicyclic gear train problems. This is about torque analysis of epicyclic gear train, theory of torque analysis. One more interesting thing here, by using 1 and 4 equation, we can write T2 in terms of T1 and T3 in terms of T1 and T2. We can see this equation here. If this angular velocity of input shaft and output shaft, I use 1 and 2 for input and output. Angular velocity of input and output shafts are equal, or I'm not equal, I'm saying, but in the same direction, then torques acting on input shaft and output shaft will be in opposite direction. While if angular velocity of this input and output shaft are in opposite direction, means having a negative sign, then this will get cancelled. So torque, in that case, torque will be in same direction. So for a same direction angular velocities, torque will be in opposite direction, and for opposite direction angular velocities, torque will be in same direction. That is our conclusion about torque analysis. I already explained the setup, but we'll see specifications of the setup. Here sun gear, on sun gear there are 14 teeth. On planetary gears, there are 2 planetary gears, each carrying 21 teeth, while the internal gear is having a 56 teeth. And these 2 pulleys having diameter of 260 mm with a 6 mm thickness, belt thickness. While this motor is 1 horsepower motor and 3 HP motor. These are all about specifications of this epicyclic gear train. What precautions we have to take? Different precautions, like we should not load this motor above 1.9 ampere. Then before starting the experiment, we should provide proper lubrication to oils and gears, and bearings. And one more thing, when you on or off the switch, at that time, the load on these both pulleys, that is input pulley and output pulley or planet carrier pulley, must be 0. Then a precaution I will explain in demonstration. Now what to find out? As we have to find out input torque, output torque, and holding torque. For finding input torque, we require input torque means nothing but torque acting on a sun gear. So for sun gear, that is input power is equal, power is equal to 2 pi nt. Power is equal to, we can say, 2 pi nt by 60. So torque is equal to power into 60 upon 2 pi. Basic equation is, that this V into I is nothing but power. So input power is equal to 2 pi nt upon 60. So to find out input torque, that is torque acting on sun gear, I require voltage and current to find out power and RPM of the input shaft, as well as to find out the torque on planet carrier. As I explained, the rope brake dynamometer is used. So here it is basically spring balance difference of that planet carrier into 9.81. Because why it is 9.81? Because this difference is in kg. multiply by radius. And the radius is, I already told you, it is 260 mm diameter pulley plus 6 mm thickness. So both side thickness is 12 mm. So it is 260 plus 12. Likewise, so net force, that is net spring balance difference into radius, it gives you planet carrier torque. Similarly, spring balance difference of internal gear into radius multiplied by 9.81 gives you internal gear torque or output torque. So to find out output torque, holding torque, and input torque, what we require is, we require spring balance difference on planet carrier, spring balance difference on internal gear, spring balance difference on planet carrier. Dimensions are already known, radius and thickness of the belt is known, as well as we need to find out V and I, the input power as well as input RPM. And for this, our observation table is input power. To find out input power, we are having voltage, and we have to find out voltage and current supplied to motor. Then spring balance difference to find out torque on internal gear pulley and torque on planet geared pulley. As at the same time, we have to find out input speed and output speed. So if I find out spring balance difference, then multiply by radius, we'll get torque on internal gear pulley. Spring balance difference multiplied by radius, we get torque on planet carried pulley. And the element which is stationary is called holding torque. Torque active on that element is called holding torque. So we can find out holding torque, input torque, and output torque. Thus, we are able to do torque analysis of a epicyclic gear train. A detailed demonstration is explained in next video. So this is all about theory of speed and torque analysis experiment to determine holding torque.